Welcome to Grawlix Nights, the Grawlix Podcast live show. I'm Randy.
I'm Melanie.
I'm Chloe.
I'm Bella.
That's it.
Hey, what's going on? We are short Jesse, but we made up with two small children. Fellas, you're not that small of a child.
No, not really.
Not to say you're a big child, but
She's a medium child.
and maybe we'll have Gabe chime in.
Yeah.
I titled tonight's episode Grawlix Nieces.
Oh,
There you go. So, yeah, we'll probably talk a little bit about Wednesday, maybe Wakanda Forever, and then whatever else strikes our fancy. But first, how are you three doing?
I'm good.
I'm good.
I'm okay, good.
Yeah, we're doing all right.
Can you tell which one is the teenager? Yeah. Well, hey, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how to wrangle this show. But I'll say this. Why are we doing this? What's going on? Melanie, what you had this idea?
Yep. Well, partially because my nieces and my nephew are cool and they're in the know, you know. They're usually up on what's popular and stuff like that. And similar things to what we watch because we are also cool and with the times, right? And so I figured, I actually didn't know until today, but I figured the girls probably would have watched Wednesday and maybe Gabe too. Gabe had not though, but the girls have more than we have. More than Randy and I have.
Finished yet, but I've watched a lot, kind of.
Yeah. So I figured since it's happening, apparently, this would be a good opportunity to discuss it since we're usually way, way late on everything.
Yeah.
Use this moment to get a little ahead. And what better way to do that than to share our show with the youths?
The youth. We're gonna put this up on the TikToks. TikToks aren't just for the youths anymore. They're for the youths and like 40-year-old men, I think.
Yeah.
That's accurate.
Yeah, I know. The oldest one on the Grawlix podcast is the one of us that uses TikTok on the regular, but he's not here right now. So
he's pretty popular too, isn't he?
Yeah, he gets a lot of engagement on there, it seems like.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm gonna start like I always start and talk a little bit about some random things that I've been watching or doing. We'll go around and mention some other things other than like the main topic that we're going to be talking about. Red Dead 2. Red Dead Redemption 2. That's what I've been doing. That's my life now.
Yeah.
I'm Arthur Morgan. I live in the Old West. The game's old. This is how current Grawlix usually is. The game is old now. It's years old. But I finally got a system that can run it. Outside of that, though, whoever's whispering in there, what have they been watching or consuming?
What have you guys been watching?
Huh?
What have you been watching and or playing?
There hasn't been really anything new to watch. I'm just kind of waiting until like February for the next season of The Mandalorian.
Oh, did you watch?
That's in February?
I think so.
Did you watch Andor?
No, I have not, but I'm going to at some point. I heard that from the fans, it's pretty good,
It is pretty good.
but it gets very into the politics of the Star Wars universe.
Yeah, I guess so. It's like Star Wars without the stormtroopers and Jedi.
It's like Star Wars, but without the lightsabers, and apparently a lot of Star Wars fans don't like that because they like the stormtroopers and the lightsabers.
Oh, I thought it was good. What else? What have you guys been looking at, watching?
Wednesday. Let's see.
That's it?
Yeah, like I planned on watching shows. Like I still haven't started Inside Job season 2. Yeah, I keep wanting to start shows, but I always put it off.
I get that.
So
Yeah.
mainly just Wednesday.
We're halfway through Inside Job, I
It took
think.
her almost a year to finish Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. I honestly don't even know if she did finish it. She didn't finish it. It's been over a year.
Oh. Well, that's something we'll have to work on.
I don't have Netflix anymore, so
Oh, really?
yeah.
Hmm.
Finished
We
Inside
were on
Job
HBO
season 2.
Max for a little bit, but they took it off of that too.
We finished season 2. It was only 8 episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we blew through Inside Job.
Was it good?
Yes.
I liked it. I was much happier the way this season ended than the first season.
I didn't even realize it had ended, actually.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, okay. Well, let's talk about Wednesday.
Okay.
Melanie only watched the first episode. Oh, I just realized I'm not be on Wi-Fi when I do this, huh?
What?
I need to not be on Wi-Fi when I do this. Nothing. Behind the scenes stuff. Not important. So Wednesday, Tim Burton, not Christina Ricci, but she's there.
Yeah, I know.
All I know is that she dances at some point.
Yeah, I seen that. I read a headline that the show becomes great when she dances, or when she dances is when the show finally becomes great. I don't know.
Oh, I don't know about that.
I haven't watched that episode yet.
I'm concerned that it's going to be too much Glee and not enough actual, Addams Family. But we'll see.
That's because that's what happened to
Sabrina.
Sabrina. Chilling Adventures of Sabrina was so good until it was trash.
Yeah.
So, but you girls are much further along on that show, I think, than we are. What do you guys think of it? Plus, you don't necessarily have. I'm sure Melanie made you watch the movies, but you don't have like the '90s Addams Family movies baggage that we have. So.
Yeah, no.
I have not made them watch them.
How really? You made me watch Addams Family Values.
Because Addams Family Values is the best. It's better. It's one of the rare instances in life where the sequel is better than the original.
I don't know about all that.
Or just as good, at least. It is.
Did he watch the original? Or
Yeah.
did you only make him watch the sequel?
No, he's seen the original. Everybody
seen the
in
original.
our generation has seen the original.
It's surprising that I hadn't seen the sequel, but I hadn't seen all of the sequel. So
Yeah. It's
okay,
great, though.
back to Wednesday though. What, Chloe? You enjoying Wednesday? Is it good?
Yeah.
What do you like about it? Is it characters, or is it because it's weird, or what's cool about it?
The characters.
Yeah. Who's your favorite?
Speak up!
No, she's thinking. It's okay. No pressure.
Wednesday probably.
It's gotta be
Wednesday.
right. Yeah.
It's gotta-
Coolest.
I don't see how it could not be. But
Yeah.
but we'll see. What about you?
I think I really like the aesthetic of the whole show.
Mhm.
Aesthetic.
Yeah.
I don't know. So like the gloominess of it.
Mhm.
Yeah. I'd say that.
No, aesthetic is totally appropriate. That is the proper term. Yeah, I do too. Obviously, Tim Burton. Who's playing basketball over there?
Sorry.
Well, it's got some. They obviously put money into it. It looks nice.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it does have the like Tim Burton aesthetic without so far going, I don't know. It's hard to say without going over the top because it's Addams Family. It's totally appropriate to go over the top stylized with
Uh-huh.
what would otherwise be a Tim Burton look.
Right.
But yeah.
It's almost the perfect property for him to work on
Mhm.
because the only thing that he could do that would make it more him than them would be make stuff a little too curly, maybe. You know what I mean?
You're right. When did I feel like it was before Harry Potter, but maybe it was Harry Potter. When did the like magical? It's got to be Harry Potter, right? Magic school, like it's got to be a magical school. Even Chilling Adventures of Sabrina went into like they've got the witch school, so like
Right.
it's interesting to take Addams Family and be like Addams Family, but also like vampires and werewolves and Harry Potter.
Yeah. Well, in a little bit in movies, I remember they would talk about, like camp, not the camp necessarily that the kids went to in the second movie, but when the boys were young and they went to camp or whatever, and that's where they met like the twins, that was the thing that made Gomez and Fester fight and whatever,
Right.
stuff like that. They talked about like gloomy type places that that seemed, I don't know if they would say like supernatural or something, but that seemed different that they would go to.
Hey, Bella, because I think I asked Chloe, but I didn't ask you. You mentioned you like the aesthetic of the show a lot. What about characters? Because one thing that Melanie and I found after the first episode, of course, we barely got introduced to all the new characters, is Wednesday's the best character and all the other characters were kind of bland. Does that get better? And who's the best character?
Honestly, not really.
Okay. That's fine. I mean, they're just kind of like the stereotype characters for that type of story, right?
Yeah. I know I enjoyed the first episode. It was interesting. I don't know that we are going to like this as much as they do because I feel like it is really geared more for younger people this time around.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. I mean, I assume so anyway.
Yeah.
But let's take this 1960s TV. Where's Maddie D? How is Maddie D not talking about this show?
No kidding.
We need Maddie D on this. Let's take this 1960s TV show and make it hip for the kids.
Yeah. It is, though.
Because it's interesting that Addams Family, because obviously our age, we had the 90s movies and we're like, that's Addams Family. But like even that was just like still, well, let's make a movie out of some old TV show. Of course, Addams Family TV show was, it's good. And it was, I don't know how reruns work anymore. I doubt kids have to watch reruns of TV like we did because now there's like
they watch it streaming.
Well, in streaming, why would a kid choose an old TV show that they never heard of, right?
Right.
But we were like, unless you had cable, we had 5 channels. So you're watching reruns or you're not watching TV.
Right.
And they'd run old stuff like Addams Family and The Munsters and I Dream of Jeannie. Have you kids even heard of any of those shows other than Addams Family, of course?
No.
Right. I wonder how this fares with Rob Zombie's The Munsters movie on Netflix.
Well, so this seems to have become the top watched Netflix show of all time. I'm gonna guess it did a little better.
Right.
And I didn't hear good things, honestly, about the Munsters. And from the commercials, I didn't think it was necessarily going to be that great. But
yeah, it looked awful. Okay. So, girls, should we keep watching it? Do you think we'll enjoy it?
Yes.
Yes.
How far are you guys into it?
I finished it already.
I think
Oh, you
it's
finished
like
it?
the third or
Yeah.
fourth episode.
Okay. Cool. Does it get better?
I think it does.
Okay. Because early on, I remember reading something about, I don't know, whatever. I try not to go by like reviews and stuff that often, but I've heard conflicting things that it starts slow or something, and I didn't find it particularly slow. but we mentioned Inside Job, and I remember like the beginning of the first season, I was like, I don't know, it's okay. But then by the end of the first season, I was like, where's season 2? I want more of the show.
Right.
So some shows just take a moment to grow on you, you know.
hmm
All right. Well, there we go.
That's Wednesday. You should watch it. You don't even have to wait for Wednesday.
This is an interesting episode. You guys are doing great, though.
Yeah.
Well, do we want to shift over to really? Melanie and I and Jesse are all pretty caught up on most of the Marvel movies, except Wakanda Forever, which is obviously the most recent one.
hmm
Mhm.
So, but you guys have watched everything. What did you think of Wakanda Forever? And I guess an easy place to start would be like, what do you think of the first Black Panther movie, and how does this compare? If you're not sure where to start.
You never watched the first one? You probably have. You just don't remember.
Right.
Here's
Maybe, but I.
SWOSH.
Okay. Yes.
Yes. So what do you think? And how does it compare?
I don't know. I'm bad at it.
What do you think of the?
Hey, Gabe.
I never watched the original movie when it came out, so I don't really have the same feeling to it as others would have when they went to go see it.
Mhm.
But I am a big Marvel fan, so I was excited to go see this, and I was excited to see what they were going to do with the Black Panther mantle and all that after Chadwick Boseman's death.
Right.
Mhm.
And I wouldn't say I'm not. I liked it
Mhm.
and I'm okay with it, but I feel like they could have done it better.
Okay.
In my opinion. But it was good and I liked it.
Okay.
I do like Wakanda Forever more than I did the original Black Panther.
Interesting. All right.
But that's probably just because of the experience I had to go see it instead of like rewatching it on like Disney Plus when I had the chance to.
Right.
Right.
When I was rewatching it.
I can see that.
Like I liked it. There were points that I feel like there was a storyline point in there that I felt like could have just not been in there because it didn't need to.
Mhm.
That it doesn't like ruin the movie in any way, but I feel like it could have done without it. And I feel like I kind of wanted a bit more from the ending of the movie than what we actually got.
Mhm.
But it wasn't bad, and I liked it.
Cool.
I liked it a lot.
Did you like it?
Yeah. That's pretty good.
I'm trying my best to say stuff about it without
Without
spoiling
spoiling.
it.
Right. No, you did great. Yeah, that was perfect.
How about you?
I liked it a lot.
Yeah. Would you? Okay, we compared it to the original Wakanda movie. What about just all the other Marvel movies that you've seen in general? Where would you place it kind of on this?
Probably one of the best of Phase 4 that's not a contest, besides like maybe No Way Home.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-mm.
But other than No Way Home, it's probably the best Marvel movie of Phase 4 that I've seen, even though there's like 5. There's
Right.
like Eternals, Shang-Chi, which was pretty good, and the Black Widow movie.
Yeah.
Phase 4 was real weird in terms of the movies, and Doctor Strange.
And
Uh,
Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange is pretty good too, but
Yeah.
yeah, I love Doctor Strange, but that's because it was more of a Sam Raimi movie.
Yeah.
It's a Sam Raimi movie more than it is a Doctor Strange movie.
Right.
But I feel like the reason why Phase 4 feels so weird is they have to do what they did in Phase 1, where they have to create new heroes and make new storylines to lead up to another big bad, where it can't just be another giant string of like higher stakes and higher movies, because that wasn't what Phase 1 was. And they basically have to recreate Phase 1 since most of the superheroes from the original sagas are either dead or gone.
Right.
Right.
And so I feel like a lot of people don't like Phase 4 that much currently because it has to recreate Phase 1, basically, but for their new heroes and their new stories.
Right.
And I'm excited because of all of the stuff that they're going to show, like Fantastic Four and what they're going to do with Spider-Man and just a bunch of other stuff. But this did really feel like this phase felt really slow.
Mm. I haven't seen this movie. Does this movie have any tie-ins to any multiverse stuff? Because I was thinking
Wakanda Forever?
Mhm.
No,
No.
not at all.
none. Oh, okay.
Completely none.
I was thinking maybe that was kind of where they were going to continue taking it. You know what I mean? So they could pull in more and older characters, even if they needed to, from other places. Since I don't know that one girl from the Doctor Strange movie is going to be a regular, but they introduced her, and her ability is to pop through universes. So I didn't know if that was going to be something that was going to be, played with later.
Yeah, no.
No.
There wasn't any multiverse stuff at all in the movie.
Okay.
But
Yeah, overall, I was just gonna say, overall, I've liked the Phase 4 stuff because it's not an easy task. Because they basically wrapped up everything they'd built since the beginning in a way. I mean, obviously introduced a bunch of stuff, but I don't think they didn't have an easy task, and I think they went about it the best way, or for me, the best way they could have. In that, let's just do a bunch of weird things, different things. Let's have the Kung Fu movie. Let's have, I don't know. Let's just let Doctor Strange do a strange thing. Let Spider-Man keep doing the Spider-Man things. And they've leveraged, I think, the Disney Plus shows really well in that. Because when I think of Phase 4, I don't even really think of the movies. I think of the shows. And they, in my opinion, they're not all, I mean, most of them are fine, but they're not all great. But the ones that are great have been stellar. Even if they're not necessarily introducing a bunch of new stuff that's going to carry into movies. But that's kind of what I think of when I think of
Loki's the best. I'm so excited for more Loki.
Loki's my favorite of the Disney Plus series.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think it's everybody's favorite.
Yeah.
How about the girls? Do they watch a bunch of the Disney Plus shows? Marvel shows?
Loki would be my top favorite too, but Moon Knight is running very, very close.
I forced her to watch it over our trip to Florida. back in March.
Yeah.
Let's see. I actually didn't see, I think, most of the Disney Plus series.
No.
I saw Loki.
Mhm.
I saw Moon Knight. I saw Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Mhm.
I saw what came before that?
WandaVision?
I saw
WandaVision,
WandaVision. I saw What If.
Mhm.
I did not see Hawkeye. I did not see Miss Marvel, and I think that's it.
No. And then the
She-Hulk.
She-Hulk.
I did not see She-Hulk. So
We didn't watch Miss Marvel.
out of all of them, I haven't seen Miss Marvel, She-Hulk, or
You got something against girls?
no.
I'm
I
just
would
kidding.
say,
I didn't watch Hawkeye either.
Hawkeye's
would
actually
say-
good.
I was
Hawkeye-
tempted to watch She-Hulk because they had Daredevil in it, but I just never got around to it.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
Plus, I'm not a big Miss Marvel fan. I don't really care.
Is Miss Marvel the chick from the movies?
No, Miss Marvel
Uh-huh.
is Kamala Khan. So Captain Marvel was Miss Marvel, and then she became Captain Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole thing about Miss Marvel, well, Kamala Khan Miss Marvel, is she's like a really big fan of Captain Marvel. So since Captain Marvel isn't Miss Marvel anymore, she became Miss Marvel, and she's the current Miss Marvel.
Okay.
yeah, I mean, I would say you got to watch Hawkeye. I enjoyed Hawkeye a lot. It's so good, and it's the right time of year again because it is a Christmas show, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
It's like just like Die Hard. Watch it for Christmas.
Die Hard's not.
Yeah, but
It's
it's got a Die Hard feel.
time.
Miss Marvel, yeah, we haven't watched, but I feel like a smart thing that they've been doing is you don't necessarily have to watch all the shows.
Uh-huh.
Miss Marvel is for a younger audience, like distinctly for a younger audience, not to say we won't enjoy it, but it's like a younger audience and comedy thing. She-Hulk, which I did enjoy, is straight up just a comedy thing. Like it's for comedy. And then you've got Loki's got the heavy sci-fi stuff, and like they've really niched out to specific little audiences, and I think that's super smart. Or if you're a hardcore completionist, you can watch all of it. But yeah. Well,
I think we should, because we are so close.
to watching everything.
Yeah, I think Miss Marvel's the only one we haven't seen.
Oh yeah, Thor, the second Thor movie is also in this phase, huh?
Yeah.
Forgot about that one. Yeah, no, we can watch Miss Marvel sometime. I'm not opposed to it. Just haven't.
I was thinking it was the other Marvel chick, and I don't care for her.
Right. It's because you don't like women, and you don't like women's rights.
I do too. I just don't like some women.
All right. Well, hey.
I don't like the chick who plays Captain Marvel.
That's what I meant. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not really a big fan. That's I think the biggest miss with Captain Marvel, other than like I don't know, a lot of it is also just internet trolls kicking up a fuss. But I feel like that's not great casting, mainly because she's just not an extremely likable person, or she doesn't come across as super likable. Not that that's necessarily her fault, but I don't think she did anybody any favors with kind of the way she, whatever. She didn't have an easy position to deal with.
Yeah, I think her whole introduction into the universe was not done well.
Did you know that she was originally supposed to show up at the end of Age of Ultron?
I did not know that.
She was in the scene at the end where Captain America like stands in front of all the new Avengers, like Falcon and Wanda and all of them in the empty Avengers base.
Mm-hmm.
Where Wanda is standing was actually where they had like a cut-in person for Brie Larson to be standing there for Captain Marvel, but they decided to take her out and put Wanda in that position instead. So.
Interesting. Yeah, and I know in Endgame they didn't have much for her to do. First off, she's super kind of overpowered, so and those characters are hard to write for, I think, sometimes. But also they hadn't written her movie yet. So they're like, she's got to deal with space stuff, which makes sense. But then, well, we'll have her come back at the end. So I don't know. It's the whole thing of like, fortunately for Disney and Marvel, it works out more often than it doesn't. But man, they'll what's the count the chickens before the eggs are hatched. They like will seed things in before they actually have it all totally plotted out. It's kind of amazing that it works at all.
Yeah.
Sometimes they've got it very well plotted out. So, well, what else? Hey, kids, what should we be watching, or what should we be reading, or what website should we be going to? What do you guys think? What do you guys enjoy that you're like, nobody's talking about this, or you need to watch this, or whatever? You got any like totally random recommendations? Anything, even if you don't think it's something we'd be into.
Nope, they're trend finders. They only watch the popular stuff.
Okay. Well, what did we watch? We watched something. Oh, kids aren't gonna be into. We watched Knives Out or whatever.
They might like
Never
it.
mind.
What is it called?
Knives Out. It's kind of like a, or you guys have never seen Clue either. It's kind of like a murder mystery type thing. Not except you find out sort of what you're led to believe that something happened, but you don't really know for sure until the end.
You lost them with murder mystery.
It's a murder mystery kind of a thing.
I don't think I've ever seen a murder mystery movie besides like, what was it? 7.
You watched
Seven.
7?
Not a murder mystery. That's just murders.
It's kind of a mystery. You just don't know who the guy is.
Yeah, that's true. It's
Seven's
good. I think you
weird.
guys might enjoy it. You should try it. It's called Knives Out. We watched
Oh.
that. It's on Netflix.
Where did we? No, I don't think it is. You might have to rent it right now.
Oh, okay.
The sequel's coming out. Netflix has the rights to 2 sequels though, and the sequel's coming out this month, which is why I was like, oh, I kind of want to watch that first one. I'd never watched it, and I'd always heard good things.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Okay. Any other? Okay, never mind. They're trend followers. they watch the popular things. Okay. Well, anything else anybody wants to mention before we find out what we should be amazed about?
I just want to say that everyone, not just these children, but all of the people of the world, if you have not seen Addams Family and Addams Family Values, watch them. They're great.
Something just occurred to me. We're talking about Marvel Phase 4, and we didn't even mention. This is actually probably what we should be talking about, except I don't know if the kids watched it. We didn't even mention the thing that officially wraps up Phase 4, the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Did you guys watch the Guardians of the Galaxy
No,
Holiday
I
Special?
haven't. I haven't.
Okay, we watched it.
Was
Well,
it
my
good?
recommendation is to go watch that. I don't know, tonight, whatever, whenever.
I would say it's probably better if you have any idea at all about the Star Wars Holiday Special that happened when we were young. Because
that wasn't even when we were young. That was before we existed. That was the 70s.
okay, well,
There was
still.
also what was it? Werewolf by Midnight or something?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
there's another one. Yeah, that was
Yeah, we
good.
watched that one. That was good. I thought that was that part of the Marvel.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize.
Yeah, it was the introduction of Man Thing or something.
That was
like,
good.
like a swamp thing from DC, but in Marvel.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it was good.
Characters were invented. Those characters were partially invented by 2 guys who happened to be roommates. I wonder how that come about.
Yeah, huh?
But I think Marvel actually sued DC over it at one point. I don't know how that turned out. I should know because anyway, the Disney Plus stuff. Those. So, what's happening?
She somehow managed to unlock my dad's phone.
No, it's
She's a hacker. Okay, yeah, holiday special. Anyway, it's very enjoyable. We'll probably be talking about that next week when Jesse's back. So
Okay.
we talk about it now too, but the kids haven't watched it yet. So
Yeah. We gotta save something for Jesse, right?
I think even if they're not familiar with, if you're weirded out by the couple of little animation segments and why there's so many songs, just know that's like an old like throwback to cheesy TV holiday specials where they'd have like a random guest star celebrity, even if it didn't make sense, and they'd have these little animated segments, and there's always music because it was basically like a variety show, and they just like tack on whatever was popular at the time, like Star Wars, and made this horrible abomination called the Star Wars Holiday Special that was buried. They made that back in the 70s. So this kind of like is a nod to that, but you don't have to know anything about that to appreciate this because it's still Guardians of the Galaxy. It's a wacky adventure.
Mm-hmm.
There was a reference to Batman in that, I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
They straight up Bruce Wayne, Batman. Yeah.
Yeah. It was good. You should watch it. It's fun. If for nothing else, just for the little antenna feely girl and then the other guy that doesn't have any feeling. Mantis and the wrestler guy.
Dave Bautista.
Drax.
Yeah, Drax, Dave Bautista.
Nope, just Dave Bautista. That's in my mind. That's his personality. Yeah, they most of it is a team up with those two, and they're very wacky characters.
Okay.
Well, it was almost amazing, but not quite. I wonder if there's anything that was amazing.
There was something that was very amazing.
Okay.
It was that record-breaking twins were born. They are the oldest babies ever. So what had happened was...
Wait, the oldest babies?
Yes. So what had happened was 30 years ago, a set of embryos was frozen by a couple. They had their eggs and their sperms mixed together, made into embryos, and they had children, but they weren't sure at first that it was going to take, so they had extra embryos that they had frozen and stored. Well, years go by, and they're like, we're not going to have any more kids. We're happy with what we have. So they donate their eggs. So they go to the donation bin where they stay for another decade or two. So 30 years roll by, and a couple that can't have children naturally are like, hey, are there any embryos maybe we could have? And they're like, yeah, here you go. So this embryo that was created 30 years ago was just born as a set of twins earlier this year in October, making them the oldest babies ever.
30 years
30 old.
old as soon as they were born.
And the best part is the year that they were frozen, their current father was 5 years old. Isn't that nuts?
That is so
That's
crazy.
craziness.
I bet they're gonna be
Yeah, I like that story.
famous.
Yeah. So I thought that was freaking amazing, and I thought that you guys would too. And yeah.
I wonder if they're like, got any of those embryos? Something on the discount shelf, something cheap, It's like, well, we got these old ones back here. We don't know how good they are. We'll dust them off.
Maybe.
All right. Well, hey, Bella and Chloe and Gabe, thanks for joining us.
Mhm.
You're welcome.
I feel like Gabe, if we got Gabe on, like, if we got him to sit down,
Yeah,
it got him going, right? He wouldn't stop.
he wouldn't.
He'd probably talk for an hour and a half about.
He'd be a fount of information.
Yeah. Yep. But you guys did great. Thanks for joining us. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it was fun.
None of you guys are like on social media or do anything like that. So I always are like, you got anything going on? You want to tell people where to go? Got anything?
Yeah, like you got a podcast coming up or a special going on?
Maybe you're gonna be at a comic convention, something tabling.
No.
Nope. Okay. All right. Well, I don't really have anything going on either. So I imagine most likely, unless we decide last minute on a Thursday that we're not going to stream, we'll be back next week.
Yep.
Probably with Jesse. Probably talk to Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. All right. If you want to see more or hear more, go to grawlixpodcast.com. The website was a little broken for a little while. I'm slowly fixing it. It's better. It's less neglected now. Go to grawlixpodcast.com. And basically go there, and that'll have links to wherever you need to go. Nobody goes to websites for stuff anymore. They just go for links to the relevant places. So, all right. Thanks, everybody. Have a good weekend.
Yep. Bye-bye.